What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to give you my likes, dislikes, and overall first impression of the Tau Codex for 8th edition. So I've had the book for like 3 days. Yeah, I know I got it late. And I've been skimming through it, reading some of the lore, which I like because it progressed. We last saw the Tau, going into their Mugulath Bay against the Imperium, and then the 4th Sphere expansion, and now we're talking about the 5th Sphere expansion. So I really like that they progressed the whole storyline with the Tau. Really awesome, cool stuff there. But let's start with the stuff that I didn't like first, and then we'll end it on a good note. All in all, I think this codex is good, not great. I enjoy it, but I'm not hype about it. I feel like, I think it was, 7th edition or 6th edition, the Tau were, overpowered. Pretty much they were winning tournaments left and right. You had Riptide spam and whatnot. And with this codex, I feel like it toned them down, but at the same time, they're not like a really, really crappy army. They're okay. So anyway, this is the stuff that I didn't like about it. So as most of you guys know or don't know, one of my favorite characters in all of Warhammer 40K is Farsight. I really like the Enclaves. I really like how he isn't being brainwashed by the ethereals and whatnot. And this dude's just freaking badass. However, what the heck happened to the Farsight bodyguards or battle suits? The 8. They're just awesome. He's got his main crew with him, and I believe you could do a whole freaking Death Star in 7th edition when you can have the whole 8 deep striking in. That was just awesome thematically. It wasn't the greatest, the greatest unit or anything, but you brought it for fun. And with this, they completely butchered it because the whole commander limitation. Yeah, commander spam was a thing back in the day, and GW was like, yeah, we gotta get rid of this. So they gave us a hard, hard limitation, which is basically just 1 commander per detachment, I believe. So yeah, we're freaking stuck not being able to use, the 8 or more than 1 commander per detachment, which kind of sucks. But I see where GW was coming from, but I still feel like that's a bit too much. Anyway, one of the other things that I didn't like was the Orbital Ion Beam, which sounds amazing. Just picturing this freaking bluish-white beam of light come from the heavens and just obliterate the enemy sounds amazing. However, I feel like there's too many negatives to it. For example, the commander that calls it in can't move in order to call it in, and I feel like it's not strong enough. So basically how it works is you draw 2 points, and then you make a line between it, and then you roll to see if the units between, those 2 points going through the line take damage. I don't know, I feel like it's a little underwhelming, but it looks cool, it sounds cool, it's just next thing though is I thought the Tau were gonna get a bump in ballistic skill. I should have known better. I mean, I feel like if you do that, they're going to be a bit too overpowered with the Barker Light support and whatnot. But Tau are a shooty army, and they're hitting on 4+ when Space Marines hit on 3s, and Necrons hit on 3s. So again, I just feel like maybe not Fire Warriors hitting on 3s, but maybe Battle Suits or something. I don't know. I mean, I didn't like this, but at the same time, I'm not surprised about it. Anyway, let's move on. Now, one of the things that I found really weird was that the Storm Surge doesn't have the keyword for Battlesuit, which, I mean, it has its own thing, which is Storm Surge, and that's just weird. There's a stratagem for the Stimulant Injector. They took that out, so it's not a piece of war gear anymore. Now it's a stratagem. So I think it's only 1 command point, and you can't use it on a freaking Storm Surge, which is weird. You can only use it on guys that have the Battlesuit keyword, but I don't know, maybe GW messed up on it. I don't know, I just thought that was really weird. But yeah, I mean, overall, the last thing I want to talk about, the negatives for this book, is that this codex kind of limits you on options. Like, you can't really go all out. It's, how do I put it? I felt like GW was kind of rushed in putting this out. Like, I'm like super hyped with all the Necron stuff that I've seen, and it's like, I don't even play the Necrons. However, this army that got me basically into 40K, and I've been playing since 5th edition, I'm just like, meh, I don't know. For example, like, let's say you want to use Long Strike, you gotta go with the Tau Sept Tenant, meaning you gotta get a new detachment if you want to include somebody else, such as Shadow Sun, because then she's got her own Sept Tenant. It's weird. Along that same line, Farside Enclaves don't have the option to bring Crisis Suits as troops. That is literally my army. I've always liked Crisis Suits. I've hated using the Tau Fire Warriors, and it's like, I can't even do that. Well, I mean, I could. I think it's called a Vanguard detachment that you'd have to bring in, but like for a brigade and that kind of thing, it's like you have to bring Tau or Kroot. I don't know. It's like, I'd rather just use battle suits. That's the whole allure to the Farside Enclaves, and that's not in there. So I don't know. But anyway, enough about the negatives. Let's talk about the things that I did like about this book. So the one thing that I really enjoyed about this was the Code Star Commander battlesuit. First and foremost, the model is just amazing. It's very, very, very awesome. I really like what GW did with it, and it's really good. So basically, it's got a 20-inch movement, and then you can advance another 20 inches, which is just amazing. It's a very, very mobile suit. On top of that, you can now equip it basically any way you want. There's a few limitations here and there, but if you want to put fusion blasters on it, go right ahead. Move up 20, fusion blaster your enemy right in the face. It's really good. Along that, I really enjoyed the basically the whole point reduction for the most part. A lot of things went down in points, and that's good because that means you can bring more models to the table. Overall, everything pretty much got cheaper, like I said. A few things went up in price, but I mean, you win some, you lose some, right, guys? And then the other thing that I really enjoyed was that there's new lore. The story for the Tau is indeed progressing. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the video, but like, you know, we left off with the Tau fighting in Mugaloth Bay. Farsight came in and saved Shadow Sun and whatnot, and then it moved on to the 4th Sphere expansion, and then to the 5th Sphere expansion. And I'm just hyped. I'm glad that the Tau is actually progressing, and we get to see what kind of improvements they've gotten and all that stuff. So that's cool. Expect a 40 facts video on their new lore. Probably next week or the week after that. Again, guys, I've only had the book for like 3 days, so I'm still reading it. I'm still trying to see what other things I've missed in my first, 1 or 2 run-throughs. But yeah, new lore, that's always good. And then another thing that I really do enjoy is the Sept Tenant for the Borcan. It's amazing in my opinion. It's probably the best one in here. And what that Sept Tenant does is anybody from the Tau Empire that is part of the Borcan Sept, they basically get an extra 6 inches to their rapid fire and heavy weapons. And trust me, guys, an extra 6 inches is always good. So that's really good because I've always wanted to use the Yavara Riptide variant from Forge Road, and that essentially makes its like plasma flamer into a 14-inch weapon, and that's really great. So basically, you can now deep strike with the Yavara and basically burn apart your enemies with that 14-inch flamer, which is really great. That's a little thing that I kind of got up and had to make sure, hey, can I do this? Can I do that? So this is, I think this is the way to go with the Tau if you want something that's got a little bit more oomph, because let's say you bring in a bunch of fire warriors, they can now shoot an extra 6 inches and rapid firing, half range. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I've got to say about the Tau Codex. Again, this is just my first impression. Let me know what you guys think down below. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What can't you wait to try out? That Code Stars battlesuit, that's the one thing I really want to try out. It seems really cool. And hopefully they add like a Farsight supplement or something, because we need Crisis Suits' troops, guys. But yeah, I mean, I'll leave it at that. Stay tuned, stay subscribed, because we got more videos coming your way. And of course, I'm going to put out the 40 facts on the new lore for the Tau. So stay tuned for that, guys. And again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, I'm the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.